Sai Ram. On the 15th of August 2004, the 57th Independence Day of the Indian Republic, we, the students of the final year postgraduate program in the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, got the opportunity to stage a drama, a play in the divine presence of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba in Sai Kulwant Hall at Prashantinilayam, Puttaparthi. Well, I have simply made this statement as if an event had occurred, but there was a huge drama that went on behind this drama, which though I am tempted I will not go into now because that has been elaborately explained at this link above. The link will also be in the description section of this video, and it is your choice whether you want to see it after watching this video or you want to pause this video, go see that, get the context and then return to this video. In either case, it would be good to reiterate some highlights, some salient facts that will help us appreciate this video better. You see, this was the first time that the students were given an opportunity to perform a drama, put up a play in Swami's divine presence for Independence Day and in the presence of possibly thousands of other devotees who are seated in the Sai Kulwant Hall. And Swami had just placed his complete faith and trust in us. Often I feel more than the devotee's faith in the Lord has faith in the devotee. He had entrusted us students to script the play, select the actors, practice it, have the songs, have the sets, everything. The elders, that is the vice chancellor, the professors, the teachers, they were all very worried because they were not so confident about the maturity of these students, about the in-depth understanding of these students, or whether they had the capacity to put up such a program in such a short time without any adult supervision. And therefore, with Swami's permission, the vice chancellor actually came to have a look at one of the rehearsals a couple of days before the final day, that is I think on August 13th or maybe morning of the 14th. He came to see the drama. After seeing it, he had some suggestions for us. He had brought out his censorship scissors and he told us to chop away some scenes. 4 scenes to be precise. Now these were the 4 most impactful scenes of the drama, and though his reasons were valid and logical, we were like, no, you can't suck the juice away from the drama. But who can overrule the vice chancellor? Only the chancellor. Because this chancellor, he can overrule anybody, because he is not just the chancellor of a university, he is the chancellor of the universe. And so we thought that we can ask Swami whether these parts can still remain in the drama and not be chopped away. I will not go into the other parts, but the one that is relevant for this video, which is the singing of the national anthem, Jana Gana Adhinayaka Jaya. The Indian National Anthem, we had decided we would use this as the curtain dropper, the finale, the grand finale. We will conclude with all of us raising up and singing the national anthem. But the vice chancellor said, no, don't do it. You see, Swami had he had, as part of his divine drama, broken his hip and he was confined now to the chair. The vice chancellor asked, do you want to force Swami to stand up? Do you want to be so insensitive? Make him stand up by singing the national anthem? That was a point we had not considered. We had just taken it for granted that Swami will be happy with this, and Swami always does sacrifices, right? And this is how we take him for granted. The vice chancellor also said that, see, in Sai Kulwant Hall there are people from so many countries. Not all of them are Indians. Yes, there are people from more than 110 countries. Today when I look at the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization, there are more than 110 countries there. So all these people are there and you are forcing them to stand up and sing the Indian National Anthem. Let's just avoid all this by not singing the Indian National Anthem. There is a time and place for everything, and this is not the time and place for it. We thought we will defer that to Swami, and Swami's response was so breathtaking, is so amazing, because it made us joyous back then. It makes me joyous even now because it reveals the amazing and hitherto unknown facets of the Indian National Anthem, and it shows the beautiful relationship between God and the devotee. The devotee that I am speaking of here is Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. Who is Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore? For starters, he is a poet. He is a writer. He is a composer.
Gana, Adhinayaka, Jaya, Bharat, Punjab, Sindh, Gujarat, Maratha, Dravida, Yuskala, Banga.
He is a painter. He is an artist. He is a teacher. He is a thinker. He is the one who ushered Renaissance and Reformation in Indian society. He is a great spiritual being. The world knows him as the first Asian ever to win the Nobel Prize. But what the world possibly doesn't know is that he is a great devotee of the Lord, the truest devotee of the Lord. Why is it that not many know him as a devotee of God? That is because he was a Brahmo Samaj member. What is the Brahmo Samaj? The Brahmo Samaj was a movement, is a movement that was started by Raja Ram Mohan Roy, and many prominent intellectuals and heartfelt people joined this movement. Brahmo stands for Brahman, Brahma. In the Bengali language, the A is often pronounced as O and V is often pronounced as B. That's why, Vanga Desha it used to be called back then. It became Bangladesha and Bengal because V to B. Similarly, Brahma becomes Brahmo. Samaj means society. Brahman is the ultimate supreme Godhead, the divine who is known by different names, who has different forms, who has come in different religions. The same God, the one God that exists. That is Brahman. And the Brahmo Samaj wanted everyone to realize that he or she is Brahman. Everything is divine. There is no need to specifically say that only this name is divine, only this form is divine, only this scripture is divine, this book is the ultimate. No, nothing. They didn't want any of that. They said everything is divine. So no exclusivity. Divinity is all inclusivity. Anywhere where there is exclusivity, you can be sure it's not divinity. It's all inclusive divinity always. And that leads to people misunderstanding and thinking that the Brahmo Samaj people are atheists. They are not atheists. They believe in divinity being in everything. They are possibly the ultimate theists. So, because Rabindranath Tagore belonged to this, people often thought that he can't be a devotee of God because he doesn't worship any single name and form. And this Rabindranath Tagore, this Gurudev, wrote the Jana Gana Mana. Yes, it was actually one of the stanzas of his 5-stanza poem called Bharato Bhagyo Vidhata. Bharata Bhagya Vidhata, which comes in the Jana Gana Mana, that is the national anthem, because again for this A to O and V to B, it becomes Bharata Bhagyo Vidhata. He had written this, and this was sung in the Adi Brahma Samaj in 1912 itself, when the Brahma Samaj was formed. But interestingly, this composition saw the light of day on the 11th of December 1911. Now, coincidentally, on the 12th of December 1911, the monarch of Britain, of England, the United Kingdom, at that time, King George V had travelled to India. He was the first monarch to travel to India, and in Delhi Darbar, he was proclaimed as the Emperor of India. That was the time when the capital of India was shifted from Calcutta to Delhi. Now, since this happened on the 12th of December 1911, the press back in those times, which is mostly the British press, everyone reported that Gurudev wrote this song in honor of King George V. He called King George as the dispenser of India's destiny because he is the monarch, right? This was such a wrong understanding because the depth of feeling with which Rabindranath Tagore composed this is best captured in his own words. There have been many points to and fro about whom this national anthem was composed for, but it is clarified by Gurudev himself in a letter that he wrote to Shri Pulin Bihari Sen, the head of the publication division of the Vishwa Bharati University. This letter has been faithfully reproduced in the 1946 biography of Gurudev called Ravindra Jeevani, and let me read it out for you. Gurudev writes, "A certain high official in His Majesty's service, who was also my friend, had requested that I write a song of felicitation towards the Emperor. The request simply amazed me. It caused a great stir in my heart. In response to that great mental turmoil, I pronounced the victory in Jana Gana Mana of that Bhagya Vidhata, dispenser of destiny of India, who has from age after age held steadfast the reins of India's chariot through rise and fall, through the straight path and the curved. That Lord of destiny, that reader of the collective mind of India, that perennial guide could never be George V, George VI, or any other George. Even my official friend understood this about the song. After all, even if his admiration for the crown was excessive, he was not lacking in simple common sense. It begins by calling out to the ruler of the people's minds, the dispenser of Bharat's destiny." How could Gurudev write about some mortal? Whom does he refer to? He refers to, let me tell you the beginning of the third stanza. "He chirasarathi tavaratha chakre mukharita patha dinaratri." It means, "O chirasarathi, O eternal charioteer, we hear the sounds of your wheel guiding our path day in and day out, day and night." Does that ring a bell? Eternal charioteer? In Sanskrit it is Sanathana Sarathi. Who else but the Supreme Lord, who came as Lord Rama, who came as Lord Krishna, who came as Lord Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. The devotee made a prayer to the Lord. This national anthem, unlike any other national anthem in the world, is a prayer to God, is a prayer for redemption, is a prayer to guide us, is a prayer for the highest freedom, the independence, not just political independence, not just freedom of the body, freedom of the mind, but freedom of the spirit, merger into the divine, nirvana, moksha, self-realization. This prayer is made through this national anthem. And that is the reason why I feel in 2004, when we finally got the opportunity through an interview that manifested so magically to ask Swami about this national anthem, I remember his words so vividly and clearly. It was the warden who brought this up. He brought it up with an apologetic tone. He said, "Swami, the boys, they are very keen to sing the national anthem towards the end of the program. So Swami, if Swami is fine with it, they will quickly sing it, Swami, and only the students will stand up, like how it happens during the convocation. It will not disturb the congregation or anything, because everybody is gathered. There are people from all nationalities. So only the students will stand up and sing." And Swami looked at him quizzically and he asked, "Why? Why will not everybody stand? Are they not human beings? Don't they have the same feelings?" Now, though we did not understand the import and magnificence of Swami's words, we were very thrilled that Swami permitted us to sing the national anthem. And that is what we did on that day. We concluded the program with singing the national anthem, where the lead character requested everybody to stand up and everybody sang. Everybody sang together. Whoever knew the word sang it, otherwise everyone participated in this national anthem. Now here is the reason why, because it is relevant for every person, because it is a prayer. It is a prayer for ultimate freedom from God, and when God is here, why should not everyone be making that prayer? Another interesting point, dear brothers and sisters, is Swami said Bharat is not this geographical India. No. Bha means Bhagawan, Rathi means one who has love, Anybody who has love for God is a Bharatiya, Swami said. And therefore Bharat is that place of residence of every devotee of God, and here are all the devotees, and therefore all are Bharatiyas. If you don't have love for God, you are not a Bharatiya. If you have love for God, irrespective of where you are staying, you may be even on Mars or the moon, you are a Bharatiya. And finally, dear brothers and sisters, when we look back at history, his story, oh, we get goosebumps, because the devotee composed it out of all love and devotion. That is what Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore did. Even before this became the national anthem of India, this was adopted as the national anthem of India on the 24th of January 1950, a couple of days before India became the Republic. Even before that happened, when little Satyam, our Swami, was a school-going student at Uravakonda at the Karibasava Swami District Board High School, this song was popularized by Swami. Yes, unbelievable but true. Swami was the ideal student, not surprising now, but back then, being the youngest in the class, he was the best in academics. Though he would hardly spend time studying, he was best in everything. He was the most ideal student, most well behaved, most loving, most impactful. He would start Nagar Sankirtans. He would inspire not just in the children but even in the adults. Love for God, devotion, adherence to morals, Daiva Preeti, Papa Bhiti and Sanganiti, all the three. Love for God, fear of sin and morality in society, all of this little Satyam encouraged. So he was the one who would lead the morning prayers. And for morning prayers, do you know, brothers and sisters, which prayer Swami selected? Yes, one stanza from the Bharat Bhagya Vidata that was written by Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. The second stanza, which goes as what greater tribute can a being get more than recognition from the Lord himself? And Swami sang this not once, not twice, every day, dear brothers and sisters, every day in the assembly, Swami would sing this. And not just that, many years later, even while delivering his divine discourse, Swami would fondly remember and sing this Bharat Bhagya Vidata, this stanza he has sung even in his discourses.
आह्वान प्रचारित सुनितव उदारवाणी हिंदू भौतिक जैन पारसिक मुसलमान क्रिस्तानी అని ఒక ప్రార్థన చేసేది.
Dear brothers and sisters, this history teaches us that Bharat doesn't mean just geographical India. Whenever in his discourses Swami would praise the Bharatiyas, we Indians would raise our collars and puff up our chests in pride. But there is no reason to do that, because a Bharatiya is one who has love for God. It is not about a geographical location alone. Just that since times immemorial, this geographical location of Bharat has produced many such lovers of God, and therefore it is okay to synonymously think Bharat as India. That is one lesson. The second lesson we learn is that the Indian National Anthem is not so much about nationalism and patriotism as much as it is about the highest ideal, highest purpose of human life, which is to ultimately achieve merger with the divine, to achieve self-realization, to achieve nirvana, to achieve moksha. Finally, the most important takeaway for me is any effort that is put towards God never goes to waste. It is always acknowledged in much greater magnitude than possibly what we put in. Swami never forgets. Swami always takes 100 steps when we take one step towards him. That is what he did when Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore took that step towards Him. That is what He will do when you and me take a step towards Him. May we always keep taking steps, and may all these steps always be towards Him. Dear Swami, may the love that we have for you in our hearts keep growing stronger every passing moment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.